Welcome back. So Cahn-Ingold-Prelog prioritization rules. By the end of this video, I want you to be able to apply these rules in an intuitive way by just looking at the molecule in a periodic table. So these rules are used to prioritize groups. The most common reasons would be to go on to assign R or S configuration to a chiral center, or to assign E and Z configuration around a double bond, with Z configuration meaning highest priority groups are on the same side of a double bond, E configuration meaning highest priority groups are on opposite sides of a double bond. But the prioritization rules are the same, and they come in a hierarchy. So that very first rule is the most important, and you are going to apply it every single time. A lot of times you might even get lucky and not have to bother with those other rules at all. So let's look at this first example. This carbon is a chiral center because it's bonded to 4 different groups. And we need to prioritize those 4 groups. Highest priority group is going to be 1. They're going to be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, with 4 being the lowest priority group. So the very first rule is highest priority group has the highest atomic number. That means you can look up these 4 atoms on a periodic table and just directly number them. Highest atomic number between these 4 is bromine. That means bromine is highest priority, number 1. Second is chlorine, 2. Third is fluorine, 4 is hydrogen. Now, when you are applying this rule, keep it simple. You are only looking at that very first atom bonded directly to the chiral center. You are not finding a molecular weight of some giant group. No, you are looking at one atom at a time. Apply these rules in the simplest way possible. Let's look at this second example. This carbon in the center is bonded to 4 different groups. Highest atomic number between oxygen, carbon-carbon, and hydrogen is this oxygen. So that's priority number 1. Lowest is hydrogen. That's priority number 4. But we need a tiebreaker. These are both carbons. This is when you need to start paying attention to the subsequent rules. Once again, I am not doing any sort of complicated math. I need to just look at what other atoms are bonded to these 2 carbons for a tiebreaker. What's bonded directly to this carbon is a hydrogen, another hydrogen, and a carbon. These 3 hydrogens are bonded to this carbon, not this one. So these are the 3 atoms bonded to this carbon, whereas this carbon just has 3 hydrogens. And what we are doing now is we are going back to that rule number 1. Out of all of these, which has the highest atomic number? That is this carbon. That means this is going to be a higher priority than this. So we already have our 1 over here. That makes this 2. That makes this 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this example. This atom right here is our chiral center. So highest priority group is oxygen, because oxygen has a higher atomic number than carbons or hydrogens. Once again, we're going to need a tiebreaker here. But we can already tell hydrogen is going to be lowest priority with number 4. So let's see what else is bonded to these 2 carbons so that we can figure out a tiebreaker. Notice what we have done so far is just apply rule number 1. We are using the subsequent rules, rules 2 and 3, for a tiebreaker. So let's list what all is bonded to this carbon, or what else is bonded to this carbon. We have a double bond to an oxygen. We have a single bond to a hydrogen. This carbon, we have a single bond to an oxygen, 2 single bonds to a hydrogen. Now, that rule number 2 doesn't help us here because our tiebreaker was highest atomic number out of all of these. We need another tiebreaker. What is important to know here is rule number 3. A multiple bond is treated as multiple single bonds. So treat this as 2 single bonds, 2 oxygens, and a single bond to hydrogen. Then we see a much more clear path to assigning which one is a higher priority. Yeah, these 2 are still tied. These 2 are tied for first, these 2 are tied for last. But here is our tiebreaker. Oxygen is a higher priority than this hydrogen. That makes this double bonded oxygen higher priority than a single bonded oxygen. So this is group 2, this is group 3. So whether it's a double bond or triple bond, you just multiply it out. Like if you saw a triple bond to a nitrogen, you would treat that as being single bonds to 3 nitrogens. So these chiral centers are in the S, R, and R configurations. If you need to assign R and S configuration to a chiral center, you have probably been taught how to do it the hard way. There is an easier way where you do not need to rotate it or draw it or build a molecular model. Thanks for watching Chemistry in a Nutshell. If you feel that I've earned it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.